Hello, my name is Wayne Alexander, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to create a view within a document library. I'm going to be using the my demo system to show you how to do this, SharePoint 2010, and again, views will be based under the assumption that you have permissions to actually create views. First thing I'm going to do is navigate over to one of my document libraries. So I'm going to use this one, Wayne's Document Library, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on the Library tab. Now, when you go into any link within SharePoint, it shows you a view, and this is the default view. So for Wayne's Document Library, this is the default view that you see when you click on that particular link. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new view by going into the Library tab and clicking on Create View. As always, you find with SharePoint, you have the ability to select some sort of template that can be used to help you with your view. And for this example, what I actually want to do is create a calendar view. And for this calendar view, it's going to populate the date of when these documents were actually added to my library, or when items have been added to my library, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and select calendar view for the view that I want to create. The system wants to know a name for this particular view. Try and be as descriptive as possible. So I'm actually going to say this is the application team shared calendar view. I'm going to make this view my default view. Now the system wants to know what would the audience that you want to be able to see this particular view, the intended audience. By default is set to public view. That means anyone that's visiting the site will be able to see this view, or if I choose, I could prefer to set it to personal for internal use only. So you've got the two options there. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on public view. If I just scroll down here, the system wants to know the time interval as well. So it needs to specify the columns that's going to be used to place items into this particular calendar. Now, I'm going to say that it's going to be based on the created date of the actual item, as in, i.e., when it was added. If I scroll down, you've got your calendar columns here. You specify the columns that's going to be displayed within your calendar view. Now, some of these columns are mandatory and others are not. So the title is a required field. Some of the subheading fields are optional. So you'll notice the title being the month view title and the week view title are mandatory, whereas the subheaders are not. So I'm just going to choose my monthly view title, and I'm actually going to say it's going to be, the monthly view title is going to be based on who actually created that document or item, I should say. And for my week view title, I'm going to go ahead and choose version. Again, you'll notice for week view subheader, you can choose an option if you like, but it's optional. So I'm going to leave my week view, day view, and the day view subheaders blank. And if I carry on down for my options, I can choose my default scope for the view, so day, week, or month. I'm actually going to make this, I'm going to leave it as a monthly. And last but certainly not least, you can actually choose what items are going to appear in this particular view. By default, the system will show all items. If I wanted to, I could actually add almost like a query to say show items if the following is true. So in other words, I could actually put in a query to say if an item equals to this, maybe for example, if the item has been created by me, or if the item has a specific word in the title. But for this example, I'm going to leave it as all items in this particular view. And you also have the option here to enable this for mobile access. I'm going to take off that option. I don't want it available for mobile access. Number of items to display in the list web part of for this view, I'm going to change that from 3 to 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and select OK. I went ahead and selected OK. The system said you must select all columns for the calendar view. Absolutely right. So it's actually taking me back here and saying because I'm using a calendar view, I must select the other 2 columns. So I'm going to go ahead and use, as an example here, check-in comment, ID, and title 1. Then I'll go ahead and click OK again. And the system has now created that view for me. And remember what options I gave for the headers. So if you notice, if I just click on this now to open it up, this particular option, this was actually a test document that was added into the system on the 9th of October. But you see what it's done is it's added it into the calendar because that's when it got added in, created on the 9th, but it's listed it by my name because that's what I specified when I was selecting the options for the different column views, for the different columns. Okay, so what we just did just there was we created a calendar view for this particular document library. Now, when you select the calendar, when you create the calendar view, you'll notice another tab appears that says calendar, and you can actually choose. So it's not written in stone that it has to stay in months. I could change it to weeks or days if I choose to. So I've got the option of editing how the data is going to be displayed within my calendar. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just navigate away from my document library, and then I've gone back to Wayne's document library again, and you'll notice the calendar is now my default view. Why? Because remember, during the setup of this view, we set it as to be the default view. Thank you.